has that restorative property. It has all of that stuff that they're actually shooting cannons off over here. Pretty cool stuff. So it's an old Spanish fort.
My boss and I found it in a storefront in Bali.
Oh my God.
And he said, we have to have that. And I said, do you know where you are? I mean, you don't just pick that in your suitcase, right? It's impossible. He is the known man-eater. He had figured out how to turn over small canoes in New Guinea and just eat whoever fell out.
In a roundabout way, and again, stick with me here, in a roundabout way, this is kind of what a recreational pond is. Here we are, ground zero, St. Augustine, Florida, at the very historical location of the Fountain of the Youth, founded by Ponce de Leon over 500 years ago. I wanted to check this out because we're gonna go just on the outskirts of St. Augustine to build a really cool recreational pond, which is an unbelievable water feature, as well as a couple other smaller water features right at the Alligator Farm. Let's go take a walk. Pure spring water right from the source. Perfect. So here we are, right in the heart of St. Augustine, right along the Intercoastal Waterway. People since the beginning of time have been looking for the Fountain of Youth, a magical body of water that you bathe in, that you drink in, that has restorative properties, just that whole feeling of being alive. In a roundabout way, and again, stick with me here, in a roundabout way, this is kind of what a recreational pond is. When you go to springs, when you go to natural groundwater, it has dissolved minerals, it has life, it has things inside of it that are actually important to us. Every major city throughout the entire world was founded along a water course just like this. Lakes, rivers, streams, coastlines, you name it, because it was a source of water, it was a source of food, it was a source of transportation. So we all required this. It's a blue planet. Most of it is actually water. The salt contents inside of our body mimic actually the salt contents inside of the ocean. So there are so many different correlations of tying all these different things together. And the reason I think that this is really cool is we are here in the home of St. Augustine, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the United States, which is really, really cool. Founded by Ponce de Leon 500 years ago. So it's really, really unique, but it was also that magical place of the possible Fountain of Youth. And again, there's discussions about that. I don't even want to get into it. But what it was is there's natural groundwater here. There's actually springs that are coming up, and it actually fed the local indigenous tribes that lived here. They founded this area because you can't drink the salt water. They were looking for fresh water, so these areas of water bubbling up out of the ground. So this is what brought people to this very place. Just a little bit inland from here, we're actually building a recreational pond. And what I love about it is it's not chlorinated. It's mimicking those natural waters. It has that restorative property. It has all of that stuff that they're actually shooting cannons off over here. Pretty cool stuff. So it's an old Spanish fort. Total different discussion. But what I love about the recreational ponds, it's water the way nature intended. So it's not chlorinated. It's not going to kill the microbiome on our body. It allows us to immerse ourselves in a spring-like water type of a situation, which is what we craved. It's living water. So there's going to be things living inside of it. You're going to be enjoying the plants, the fish, putting your feet in the water, having a fire next to it, just sitting, relaxing with your loved ones, having a drink of wine, having a beer, having dinner outside, just engaging with nature. In today's world, we're all craving that interaction with nature. So just by creating that backyard habitat, that little backyard microcosm of life, it will completely transform not only your property, but also your life as well.
Hey guys, I'm John Brueggen. I'm the director at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm, but the exciting part for me is the work's getting done at my house this time. So I've designed and developed a lot of exhibits for crocodiles and cassowary and parrots and all kinds of things at the zoo, but now we're doing it for me at the house. So as you can see, we've got a big empty space that we've kind of always envisioned that we'd have a place to swim. And we met with several people about a swimming pool, but you know, we're unique people. We have animals in our lives, and the idea of just a tiled edge pool wasn't all that exciting. And we found Earthworks, and we're very excited about this idea of a aquascape lifestyle. You get this really natural environment that's not so sterile and ugly, and these guys know exactly how to do it so that it's not labor intensive and it's a beautiful experience all year round. Actually an adult. This is the smallest of all the crocodilians, called a dwarf caiman.
You pump warmer water through it all for them, or you just let them?
Yeah, so alligators occur up in even North Carolina, and they are pretty tough. Photos of them actually frozen with their nostrils in lakes where just so they can breathe, and they only need a breath every couple days when they're really cold.
Yeah, yeah.
They thaw out and they seem to be
Incredible.
fine. So the alligators I don't have much trouble with, but I do have all these tropical crocodilians that I have to feed water
they're not
for.
happy, huh? How many you have in here, John?
Probably about 40 in here, and it's kind of a mixed bag. There's some caiman, mostly American alligators, but also a couple of crocodile species. There's so many animals in here in this one lane. This is the water that they have, but a lot of land space. And so we thought up there where that alligator's walking, if we did a pool over there that would be viewed from the other side.
Sure.
It could be, right now, a place for some of the, maybe a small guy that's getting picked on to go sit by himself. But also later on, we could fence around it. It could be its own enclosure.
Gotcha.
So this is a piece of one tree that was carved from a felled tree in Timor, East Timor in Indonesia. My boss and I found it in a storefront in Bali.
Oh my God.
And he said, we have to have that. And I said, do you know where you are? I mean, you don't just pick that in your suitcase, right? It's impossible. The water skims over there. We grab it from the deepest part of the pool, which is about 7 feet there.
Yeah,
the water travels through. They're kind of in milk crates, essentially.
Yeah.
And it comes back around, pours out that waterfall there.
Yeah, I saw that little waterfall, yeah. That's awesome.
All the other pools flow through this park and end up here.
And where does this go?
And this all flows out to a wetland and behind the park.
Why are your fingernails right over here? Oh, look at you, dude. good.
So they have a nictitating membrane, so his eye looks a little cloudy because he actually has a third eyelid that covers up his eyes when he's underwater. Then this was a croc that used to live here. He was in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the largest living crocodile at the time. 17 feet 9.5 inches. He is the known man-eater. He had figured out how to turn over small canoes in New Guinea and just eat whoever fell out. And so he was terrorizing a few villages that that all their commerce was on the river. So people were scared to death to go out until he got caught. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate it.
We'll
Thanks for
see
sharing.
you in the morning.
See you in the morning.